In the final stages of World War II, the United States became the first country in the world to possess nuclear weapons. Faced with such a powerful weapon of war, not only did other countries strive to develop their own, but there was also a vigorous internal competition within the United States for control of nuclear weapons. After all, whichever military branch controlled the nuclear weapons would have greater influence. After World War II, the United States began developing the A-2 carrier-based aircraft capable of carrying atomic bombs. This equipment, belonging to the Navy, not only increased the flexibility of nuclear weapons use but also allowed the Navy to gain some control over nuclear weapons. At that time, it was quite difficult to use carrier-based aircraft to carry atomic bombs, as the size and weight of the bombs at that time were considerable. For example, the Fat Man bomb during World War II weighed 4.9 tons, with a diameter of 1.5 meters and a length of 3.6 meters. This was already a major challenge for land-based bombers, and only large aircraft such as the B-29 could be modified to carry them. Carrier-based aircraft were limited by the capabilities of aircraft carriers for takeoff and landing, and it was almost impossible to modify existing carrier-based aircraft to carry these bombs, so a new design had to be developed. The A-2 entered service in 1950, with development work dating back to August 13, 1945. It was a carrier-based medium bomber designed based on new aviation technology, and several subsequent models were developed, including reconnaissance aircraft and refueling aircraft. The basic structure of the bomber was similar to twin-engine propeller bombers from World War II, with an all-metal single-wing structure and twin propellers. Each side of the wings housed a 2,300 horsepower Pratt & Whitney R-2800-44W piston engine, each driving a set of 4.42-meter constant-speed four-blade propellers. However, these two engines alone were not enough to reliably launch this 23-ton aircraft from an aircraft carrier deck. As a result, a third Allison J-33-10 turbojet engine with a thrust of 20.5 knots was installed at the rear of the fuselage. This engine was not operational during flight, only providing auxiliary power during takeoff and landing or other special circumstances. The intake was located on the back of the aircraft, and the exhaust was located below the tail. The intake could be closed to reduce aerodynamic drag. Although the aircraft was equipped with two different types of engines, in order to simplify fuel supply, the jet engine also used the same fuel as the piston engine. The aircraft had a self-contained fuel tank of 760 liters inside the fuselage, with an additional 1920-liter fuel tank on each side of the wings. Typically, the aircraft also had an additional 1,100-liter fuel tank on each wingtip. If not carrying bombs, the aircraft could also install 3 additional tanks with a total capacity of 6,200 liters in the bomb bay, increasing the aircraft's ferry flight capability. As a carrier-based aircraft, the A-2 naturally had the capability to fold its wings. The outer wings could be folded upward from the middle, a task that needed to be completed by ground crew. Even after folding, the aircraft still required a large amount of space, which led to a low evaluation of the A-2 by carrier deck personnel. The A-2 was equipped with a tricycle landing gear, and the cockpit could accommodate a crew of 3. The bomb bay inside the fuselage could carry a payload of 5,400 kilograms of ammunition, including not only nuclear bombs but also depth charges, anti-submarine rockets, and other munitions. The total production of the A-2 carrier-based medium bomber was not high, with a total of just over 200 units, including several subsequent models such as refueling aircraft. Its service life was also not long, with 2 versions, the A-2A and A-2B, the latter of which had upgraded engines. They were gradually retired in the 1960s. The main reason for the rapid decline of the A-2 was that jet-powered carrier-based aircraft had matured in the 1950s, and the propeller-based A-2 could no longer keep up with the times in terms of flight speed. Additionally, breakthroughs were made in miniaturizing nuclear weapons, and the military no longer needed cumbersome old-style bombers. The A-2 was quickly replaced by the A-3 attack aircraft. The A-2, a carrier-based medium bomber, had an empty weight of 12.5 tons, a maximum takeoff weight of about 23 tons, a length of about 19 meters, a height of about 6.2 meters, a wingspan of about 21.7 meters, and a wing area of 77.616 square meters. After folding, the wingspan was reduced to 15.39 meters. It had a maximum flight speed of 758 km per hour, a maximum range of 2,786 km, and a maximum altitude of 12,400 meters.